man has faced two problems. Problem number one, oppression of man by nature. Nature oppresses man. How? Disease, drought, floods, earthquakes, all those are problems to man caused by nature. Now, when man is able to cope with those challenges, then we say he's more and more civilized. He has advanced. And man has been struggling on that line. He invented fire 1.5 million years ago. The invention of fire was a big step for man. Because with fire, he could do so many things. I don't have time to go into all those, but I think you should be interested in the long journey of man. Because before man invented fire, he was living in the trees. He was a tree dweller. When he invented fire, his situation completely changed. He could go from the trees and now live in the caves because he had the fire to light the interior of the caves and to chase snakes and so on. Now, caves were more comfortable than trees because with the cave, no rain, no cold, it is warmer. Man improved his condition by going from the trees to the cave. And it is a long journey. How man invented agriculture. Instead of going to follow food in the bush to collect, he learned how to get seeds and plant them here. To domesticate crops, to domesticate plants, to domesticate animals. All these were steps by man, which helped him to improve his battle with nature. Man in Africa, whom you represent, missed out on the 3 industrial revolutions. The first industrial revolution was the invention of steam engine. That one we did not take part because we were running around with the chiefs and with the slave trade. Then the second industrial revolution, the introduction of the railway on a mass scale and electricity. Again, that one we missed out largely. And then the third one was the automation of machines, recent. We are now talking of the 4th industrial revolution, intelligent machines. So, when you talk of rights, you must put whatever you are talking about in the context of where we stand in that long journey of man battling with nature. Now, the second problem of man is oppression of man by man. Problems caused to men by other men. feudalism, the slave trade, colonialism, dictatorships, fascism, violation of rights, which is the smaller subject you are talking about here now. But it is within the bigger struggle. That is the second problem of man. And the judicial system must be efficient to help the economy to grow. I normally talk with their lordships in Uganda and point out that yes, there are so many problems, court congestion, there are a lot of cases, case backlog, that's what they call it. There's case backlog, but if I'm handling a case of people who fought in a bar, and there is the case of a factory which is employing 2,000 people, I think for me I would start with the factory, deal with that case, and the people who fought in the court can wait a bit, who fought in the bar, because by handling by not delaying the factory, I'm actually creating money for producing goods for the economy, generating revenue for the government, creating jobs for those fellows who are working there. So I think it is crucial that we have a strategic view of all this. All these issues are important. Justice should be accessed, but the value output of whatever we are doing is not the same. There are certain things which are very crucial for the prosperity of the country ahead of others. In Africa, by 1400, we were like a little bit like Europe. We had the feudal class, we had the peasants, the farmers, and we had the artisans. But because of colonialism, the feudal class was killed by the colonial powers, and the artisan class was also killed. So we only remained with the peasants, mainly. Then towards the end of the colonial time, the colonial people started training some clerks and some interpreters. And in 1958, I remember they came and started looking for magistrates. That was the first time I saw an African magistrate. In 1958, I had never seen one. They came and looked for the chiefs, some Gombara chiefs. We want them to go to train to become Abaramuzi. Abaramuzi is our word for magistrate, judge. It's the same. Where are they going to train as Abaramuzi? In Samizi. So they went. That was our first time. That was my first time to see an African magistrate. Because before that, the chiefs were also the magistrates. The administrators were the one also determining cases. So the society must metamorphose. When it doesn't metamorphose, when it metamorphoses, it becomes different. It is the same, but it is a different society. Now, part of the crisis which we should discuss in this conference which I see, the tug of war, is that in our laws we put liberal concepts of justice, middle class concepts of justice, bourgeois, if you want to use French, bourgeois concepts of justice.